I always thought my family was unbreakable, a place where love and support were unconditional. Growing up, I believed that no matter what happened, we would always stand by each other, because we were family. But then came that fateful day, and I realized that sometimes, the people closest to you can become strangers, all because of one thing: inheritance. It all started the day my father passed away. The sky was gray that morning, as if mourning with us. The house was filled with a heavy silence, broken only by quiet sobs and the sound of incense burning. I stood by my father's casket, staring at his framed photo on the altar, feeling empty. My mother sat quietly, her red, swollen eyes staring at nothing. My older brother, always the strong one, seemed unusually tense. My sister wiped away her tears in silence. The days that followed were a blur of grief. We tried to support each other, reminiscing about my father's life, sharing old memories. The family dinners felt emptier, but, at least, we still had each other. Or so I thought. One afternoon, we received a call from my father's lawyer. It was time to read his will. I didn't think much about it. Whatever my father had left behind, I believed we would handle it fairly. But the moment the lawyer began reading, I felt the air in the room shift. My father left the house to my mother, a significant amount of money to my older brother, since he had taken care of the family during my father's illness. My sister and I were given the remaining assets, but the sum was much smaller than I had expected. I turned to look at my brother. His face remained calm, but I saw a flicker of something in his eyes, something that unsettled me. My sister's expression, on the other hand, was one of disbelief. My mother sat still, her face filled with concern. At that moment, I sensed something was wrong, a crack in our family bond that I hadn't noticed before. And then, everything began to unravel. My sister slammed the documents onto the table, her voice shaking with anger. "So that's it? Dad only cared about him?" My brother frowned. "What are you trying to say? I mean, why did Dad leave the majority of the inheritance to you? What about me and our younger sibling?" I sat there, unsure of what to say. I had the same question, but I didn't want to believe that this would be the thing to tear us apart. My mother quickly intervened, trying to calm the situation. "Your father wasn't playing favorites. He just wanted your brother to have more resources to take care of the family." But my sister wasn't having it. "Did Dad ever ask if I needed help? Or did he just assume that because I'm a woman, I don't matter?" Her words cut through the already tense atmosphere like a knife. I looked at my mother and saw her lower her gaze, unable to answer. My brother clenched his fists, his voice dropping. "If you think it's unfair, what do you plan to do?" "Sue?" Silence filled the room. I felt my heart pounding. This wasn't just about money anymore. This was about trust, about wounds that had been hidden for years, about feeling abandoned. I glanced at my father's photo on the table, wondering, if he were still here, would he have realized that his decision would tear our family apart? But maybe, it was already too late to change anything. The argument that started in the lawyer's office didn't end there. In fact, it was just the beginning. After the will was read, my sister refused to speak to anyone. She stormed out, leaving behind an unbearable silence. My mother looked heartbroken, while my older brother clenched his jaw, trying to suppress his emotions. I sat there, feeling trapped between them, unsure of whose side to take, or if I even wanted to take a side at all. That night, my mother tried to talk to my sister, but she wouldn't answer her calls. I knew she was hurt, but I never expected her to go this far. The next morning, we received a message from her. It wasn't an apology. It wasn't a plea for understanding. It was a threat. "I want my fair share. If this family won't give it to me, I'll take legal action." I stared at the words on the screen, unable to process them. My sister, the person I had grown up with, played with, confided in, was now threatening to sue our own family. My mother was devastated. She sat at the dining table with trembling hands, staring at the message over and over again as if she could somehow change what it meant. My older brother, however, reacted differently. "This is ridiculous," he muttered. "She's being selfish. Dad gave me more because I took care of him. She barely visited him when he was sick." My mother winced at his words, but she didn't argue. Instead, she looked at me. "You need to talk to her." I swallowed hard. "Me? Why me? You're the only one she might listen to," my mother said. "Please, before this gets worse." I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be the one caught in the middle. But I also didn't want to see my family fall apart. So, despite the weight in my chest, I picked up my phone and called my sister. She answered after a few rings, her voice cold. "What do you want?" I took a deep breath. "Can we talk? Face to face?" Silence. Then, a sigh. "Fine. Meet me at the cafe near my apartment." When I arrived, she was already sitting at a corner table, arms crossed, her expression guarded. I sat down, choosing my words carefully. "I just want to understand. Why are you doing this?" She let out a bitter laugh. "Are you seriously asking me that? Dad practically told me I was worthless." "That's not true," I said quickly. "He loved you. Then why did he give me nothing?" Her voice shook with emotion. "Why did he trust our brother with everything but not me?" I hesitated, trying to find the right answer. But I couldn't, because deep down, I had the same doubts. She sighed, rubbing her temples. "I know what Mom and our brother are saying. That I didn't visit Dad enough. That I didn't take care of him like he did. But do you know why?" I frowned. "Why?" She looked up, her eyes filled with something I hadn't seen before, pain. "Because every time I visited, Dad made me feel like I wasn't enough. Like no matter what I did, I would never be as important as our brother. He always saw me as weak, as someone who needed to be protected instead of respected. So eventually, I stopped trying." I swallowed hard. I had never seen it from her perspective before. She leaned forward, lowering her voice. "I don't want to fight, but I refuse to let them push me aside like I don't matter. If this is the only way to make them see me, then so be it." I didn't know what to say. Part of me understood her pain, but another part of me feared what this would do to our family. "Please," I said, softly, "there has to be another way." She shook her head. "Not unless they're willing to admit they were wrong." I knew that wasn't going to happen. My brother was too proud. My mother was too scared. And my father, well, he was gone. As I left the cafe, I felt more lost than ever. Because I realized that no matter what I did, this family was already broken. And there was no easy way to fix it. The tension in our family had reached its peak. My sister had officially hired a lawyer. She wasn't bluffing. She was ready to take our own family to court. The moment my mother heard the news, she broke down in tears. "How did it come to this?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. "We're family. We're supposed to take care of each other." My brother, on the other hand, was furious. "She's being greedy. She doesn't deserve anything." I was stuck between them, trying to hold things together, but I could feel everything slipping through my fingers. That night, I lay awake in bed, thinking about everything my sister had said. About how she felt invisible, unimportant, like she had been pushed aside. I had dismissed her pain before, but now, I couldn't stop hearing her voice in my head. What if she was right? What if, in some way, our father's choices had made her feel like she didn't belong? I knew my brother had sacrificed a lot to take care of Dad, but did that mean my sister's feelings didn't matter? I couldn't let this fight continue without at least trying to make them see each other's pain. The next morning, I made a decision. I called my sister first. "We need to talk," I told her. "Not just you and me. All of us." She hesitated, but eventually, she agreed. Then I went to my brother. He scoffed at the idea. "She's suing us, and you want to talk?" "Yes," I said firmly. "Because if we don't, we might never come back from this." Something in my voice must have reached him, because after a long pause, he nodded. A few hours later, we were all in the same room, my mother, my brother, and my sister, sitting across from each other like strangers instead of family. No lawyers, no accusations, just us. For the first time in weeks, I saw something in my sister's eyes that wasn't just anger, it was sadness. Hurt. My brother folded his arms. "All right, we're here. What do you want?" She took a deep breath. "I want to know why I was never enough." The room fell silent. My brother's face hardened, but my mother's expression softened. "Honey," she started, but my sister shook her head. "No, don't say it's not true," she said. "Because it is. You might not have meant to, but that's how you made me feel." I looked at my brother, hoping he would say something, anything, to ease the tension. But instead, he just stared at her, his expression unreadable. And then, finally, he spoke. "I was angry," he admitted. "Angry that I had to put my life on hold while you got to live yours. Dad relied on me for everything. And maybe I resented you for that." My sister's breath hitched. "I never asked you to do that." "I know," he said, his voice quieter now. "But I did it anyway. And when Dad left me everything, I thought. Maybe he was finally acknowledging everything I gave up for him. My sister wiped her eyes. And what about me? Didn't I deserve something too? For the first time, I saw hesitation in my brother's eyes. He didn't have an answer. And that was when I realized this wasn't just about money. This was about recognition, about years of built-up resentment, hurt, and unspoken words. And now, finally, they were being said. I didn't know if this conversation would fix everything, but for the first time, I felt like we weren't just fighting. We were finally trying to understand. The room was heavy with silence. My sister wiped away a tear, my brother clenched his fists, and my mother just sat there, looking smaller than I had ever seen her. For the first time, my brother and sister had spoken their truths, but instead of resolving anything, it had only exposed how deep the wounds truly were. You still don't get it, do you? My sister's voice trembled. It's not just about the money. It's about everything. It's about how I was always the afterthought. My brother let out a frustrated sigh. You keep saying that, but do you even know what it was like for me? To have no choice but to stay and take care of him while you lived your life however you wanted? She flinched, but her jaw tightened. You think I had it easy? She snapped. I left because I had to. Because every time I tried to be part of this family, I was treated like I didn't belong, like I was just there. Their words cut through the air like a knife. I could feel the weight of everything they had never said before pressing down on all of us. My mother finally found her voice. We never meant to make you feel that way. But you did, my sister shot back. And then Dad left everything to him, and it was just proof that I was never enough for this family. The accusation hung in the air. My brother rubbed his temples. That's not what it meant. Then what did it mean? She demanded. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like Dad only valued you. For a moment, I saw something flicker in my brother's expression. Guilt, maybe. Uncertainty. He had spent so much time defending himself that he had never really stopped to see things from her perspective. I decided to step in. Look, we can keep yelling at each other, but that's not going to fix anything. The truth is, we all feel hurt in different ways. And none of us are wrong to feel the way we do. My sister crossed her arms. So what now? I just accept that I was never as important as him? My mother shook her head, her eyes brimming with tears. No, we made mistakes. We should have done more to make sure you felt loved. My brother shifted uncomfortably, but after a moment, he finally spoke. I never wanted to take everything from you. His voice was quieter now, less defensive. I thought I deserved it, after everything I gave up for him. My sister swallowed hard. And what about what I lost? The words hit him like a slap. For the first time, I saw him hesitate. This was it. The moment that would determine whether our family shattered completely or if we could somehow, against all odds, put the pieces back together. I held my breath. Then, finally, my brother exhaled and looked at her, really looked at her. What do you want? He asked, his voice raw. She blinked, caught off guard by the question. I just want to matter. My mother let out a choked sob. You do, she whispered. My sister shook her head. Then show me. Silence filled the room once again. But this time, it wasn't just anger, it was realization. The truth had been spoken. The question now was, what would we do with it? The silence in the room felt different now. It wasn't just heavy with resentment and anger, it was filled with something else. Something fragile, a possibility. My brother looked down at his hands, his fingers gripping the edge of the table. My sister wiped away a tear but didn't look away this time. And my mother, she just sat there, as if she was holding on to the moment, afraid that if she moved too soon, everything would break again. For the first time in what felt like forever, we weren't yelling. We weren't blaming. We were just here, together. I don't know how to fix this, my brother admitted, his voice low, rough. But I don't want to lose you. My sister let out a shaky breath. Then prove it. He nodded slowly, then glanced at me. What do we do? I hesitated. There wasn't an easy answer. There was no perfect solution that would make everything better overnight. But there was one thing I did know. We had to stop seeing each other as enemies. We start by being honest, I said. No more pretending like everything was fair when it wasn't. No more ignoring how we feel. My mother sniffled. And the inheritance? That was the real question, wasn't it? The thing that had started all of this. My brother hesitated. I could see the struggle in his eyes. He had fought so hard to justify why he deserved everything. But now, I think he was starting to see the bigger picture. Finally, he sighed. It's not just mine. It shouldn't be. My sister's eyes widened slightly. You mean that? He nodded. Yeah, I don't want to hold on to something that's tearing us apart. We should figure out a way to divide it fairly. The words felt like a release, like something loosening in my chest. My sister exhaled. Okay. She paused, then, softer, thank you. It wasn't an immediate fix. It wouldn't erase years of hurt. But it was a start. My mother reached for both of them, her hands shaking. I just want my family back, she whispered. I swallowed the lump in my throat. Then let's make sure we don't let this destroy us. For the first time in a long time, I felt hope. Maybe we weren't broken beyond repair. Maybe, just maybe, we could find our way back to each other. Have you ever witnessed a family dispute over inheritance? How did it affect family relationships? What do you think is more important, fairness in asset distribution or preserving family bonds? If you were in the same situation as the character in the story, how would you handle it? Do you believe money can change people? Why or why not? What do you think could help a family overcome conflicts like this? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more powerful stories. Join the conversation. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Have you ever faced a similar situation? How did you handle it? Turn on notifications so you never miss our latest uploads. Share this video with friends and family, because sometimes the right story can change everything.